Greetings, people of the internet. Lachlan here, back with another video. You know, human beings are tribalistic by nature. And given the fact that we evolved from primitive hunter-gatherer societies, it's not hard to understand why. When you're trying to bring down a massive beast for food, or to avoid being killed by a pack of rabid wolves, it really helps to have people who think and behave as you do. Even in today's modern world, tribalism has positive benefits in that it can increase social cohesion and unite a group of people. However, tribalism, or as it's more commonly known today, identity politics, also has a very dark side. When you become too deeply entrenched in identity politics, you develop an us versus them mentality, and it begins to consume your entire worldview. To give you an example, I went to college to study journalism, and I was the only white student in a class of about 10 or 11. Now this is not uncommon, because in South Africa, white people are a racial minority. And for the most part, I got along with all my classmates. However, in the time that I was in college, there was one guy in particular who decided almost from day one that simply because of my racial background and the fact that I'm a middle-class white boy, that he didn't like me. It made him angry to an irrational degree. He would respond aggressively to even the most simple requests, like passing a book or moving out the way when I was trying to exit a room. Something strange about it that I noticed was it wasn't just that he didn't like me as a white guy. He didn't even like other black people who weren't of his tribe. For those of you who don't know, South Africa's black population isn't made up of one tribe. There are several distinct ethnic groups. And for this guy, if you weren't of his tribe, then you were somehow lower than him in social importance. And it got me thinking, particularly with how extreme political and social discourse is becoming these days, if we can't rid ourselves of simple identitarian arguments, we'll all be destroyed. In South Africa, there is still a huge segment of the population that, whether vocally or implicitly, believe that white people as a whole are responsible for the crimes of the past, and that we owe a debt or some sort of reparation to them. In fact, there is a political party that exists in this country called Black First, Land First, and their stated aim is to appropriate land from white people without compensation and give it to blacks. Now, I understand the historical legacy of apartheid, and a part of it was called the Group Areas Act, where black people and other non-whites were forcibly removed so that the dominant group, being whites, could live in the best spaces in the country. This is obviously unfair and frankly racist. However, the idea of appropriating land or removing people from where they live, particularly if they simply didn't inherit the land but had to work to buy it, seems just to me to be repeating an endless cycle that will get us nowhere. Then, if you want to look to a more globally relevant thing, you've got the recent Unite the Right rally that occurred in Charlottesville over the weekend. I want to state that I consider both AntiFur and the alt-right to be regressive morons. They are both so obsessed with their group identity that they have lost the ability to see people as people. They only see enemies versus my people. And while their motivations may be different, the end result will be the same. Both of those groups will destroy America. I think that what's contributed to this is the fact that we live in a social media culture. Social media allows people to make arguments to people across the world. The problem with it is, it's just text for the most part on a screen. You cannot interpret intent or tone when something is written. And everyone has biases, whether those are racial, cultural, or gender-based. So if you aren't given the tone or intent of a statement when it's presented, you're likely to place your own biases on top of it, and you may interpret something that the original speaker never intended. My ultimate point here is that we need to stop judging people based on the groups with which they associate. We need to remember that people are not as simple as the views that they hold. Human beings are inherently complex creatures with a vast array of emotions and experiences. Take me, for example. I'm a quadriplegic, and there are people with exactly the same disability as me who have had entirely different lives, because whether it's disability, race, gender, all of those things are unchosen factors of our birth. This is why things like racial pride are foolhardy and just silly. Because how can you take pride in your race? And how can you take pride in the deeds of others who happen to be of your race? You didn't choose your race, and you never will be able to choose your race. If you're going to take pride in anything, it should be the positive aspects of your culture. And unlike the idiots who say that cultural appropriation is a bad thing, I believe that the human race as a whole is strengthened when we share the positive aspects of our cultures. Take, for example, my training in the Korean martial art of Taekwondo. That fundamentally changed my life. It's made me a lot stronger, a lot healthier, and a lot more confident. If Taekwondo had not been spread to this country, I would not have had the opportunity to train in it, and my life would be poorer for it. So, my ultimate message here is, screw identity politics, see people as people, and just get on with your life. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it with your friends, and let me know what you think.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.